Hello and welcome to a very, very wet afternoon in the woods. My name is Katie, my pronouns are they and them, and yeah, welcome. For once I'm actually showing you what the weather is usually like here in Cymru, South Wales, where I live. This is going to be a slightly strange episode for two reasons. One reason is the weather. I haven't been able to record nearly as much outside things as I would like to, so I'm going to share a couple of different walks with you. One that I did today in the rain and one that I did yesterday in the sunshine. And I did try and sit and chat to you about my creative projects yesterday, but my microphone didn't work. These things happen, so you're going to get to see a contrast of walks in this video. I've got a few knitting projects that I want to share with you. I usually have an update on what's happening in my studio with my illustration practice as well, but I don't have that this time. If you follow me on Patreon, you will know that I'm in the middle of a big studio reorganise and tidy and finally unpacking. I've lived here in Cymru for 3.5 years now. So I think it's time to finally unpack and settle into my studio properly. So that's what I've been working on. That's been taking up a lot of my working time, but I have, of course, been knitting. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you in this video. I've got a finished project and a new cast on to share with you. So let's dive in. So in my knitting bag, I have a finished project. These are the mittens I was talking about in the last video. They are the Flutter Butterfly mittens by Mimi Cod, slightly modified. And I made this for my mum for her 80th birthday, which was at the end of January, a month ago. So they're slightly late, but nonetheless, I'm very happy and proud to have finished them, and I'll be sending them off to her tomorrow, but I wanted to show them to you before I do that. So the pattern has this really beautiful butterfly motif, and I'm not sure whether it wants to be in the palm of the hand or on the back of the hand, so I'm going to let my mum decide how she wants to wear them. And the pattern has another more complicated butterfly motif on the other side, which I decided to leave out because I really like this crisscross pattern, and I felt like adding more butterflies just distracted from how beautiful this big one is, and it made the knitting more straightforward. I could do it whilst I was relaxing and watching the Winter Olympics, so perfect. That was the main change I made. I think I made a change to the cuff and just did plain 2x2 ribbing and this contrasting coloured cast on. And I talked about the yarns that I used at length in my last video, so I won't cover that again, but you can hop back and have a look. I'll put the link down below if you want details of those. Very satisfying to have a finished knitting project, and of course that means I have a new project to tell you about as well. And it's going to look like I've done loads and loads of work, but the truth is, actually I cast this on before I cast on the mittens and then put it on hiatus. So, typical, I've left it in the middle of a row. As always, the perfect time to show you a knitting project. So I started this, I think probably in December. It's a hooded vest. It's called the Mila vest by Irene. And I'm really enjoying the process. So it's a top-down pattern, so you cast on at the top of the hood and then work downwards to the shoulders, and then you separate the front and the back. So I wonder if I can put it on while it's on the needles. Yes, just about. So yeah, start at the top of the hood, knit downwards, and then you work the front yokes separately. So I've done one front, I need to do the second, and I'm currently working on the back, and then they will all join at the underarms and knit downwards for the rest of the body. It smells incredibly sheepy in here. The yarns that I'm using are 2 yarns held together. This is Beiroa from Rosa Pomar. It's 100% Portuguese wool. I believe this is a natural undyed shade. So there's some white in here and some browns introduced in the spinning process, which is really, really lovely. It's it's singles, quite a low twist, so it's really fluffy and woolly. Yeah, it smells great. And I'm combining it with 2 strands, so 2 more balls of yarn, but 2 strands of the same. This is from Laura's Loom, who is a weaver based in Cumbria. And I actually bought this yarn last time I was in Cumbria for Woolfest, which was when I was working for Blacker Yarns, which is 2017, 2018 at the latest. So I've had this in my stash for a long, long time. It's really nice to finally be finding a use for it. And I love how these colours work together. The fabric that they've combined to create is really, really nice. The reason I'm holding the yarns together is to make a thicker yarn to match the gauge for the pattern. It's something that I used when I was doing my pangolin jumper. I made that entirely out of scraps and leftovers and odd bits and pieces. I didn't have any chunky yarn, which the pattern called for. So I made my own by combining 2 strands, 3 strands or 4 strands of thinner yarns. And I really enjoyed playing around with the different textures I could create like that. And it made me view my stash in a completely different light. So yeah, why wouldn't I do the same for this project? The Laura's Loom is 100% wool as well. It's a blend of Bluefaced Leicester and black Wensleydale. So it's a lovely warm cream colour with some flecks of dark in there as well. Yeah, it's really lovely, but it hung around in my stash for ages not having a use. So it's really nice to find the right project for it. The only modification I've made to the pattern is the cast on. So Irene has you do 1 long linear cast on at the top of the hood and seam it together later. I did that for my first cast on, and I wasn't super happy with how it looked. I wanted a seamless top to my hood, so I used a Turkish cast on, the kind that you would use at the beginning of a toe-up sock, to create a totally seamless beginning. And I'm really, really pleased with how that worked out. The only bit that I haven't resolved is here where the 2 ends of the I-cord join. I'm going to have to do some kind of invisible graft there, and you can see that I've been avoiding that because I'm a bit scared it's going to sit there right in the middle of the hood and be really visible if I fudge it up. So I'm avoiding that for the time being. Otherwise, I'm following the pattern as it's written, making the second size and really enjoying the process. I picked Scarlet Elf Cups, or perhaps Ruby Elf Cups. I was reading and learned that there are two varieties in the UK, Scarlet and Ruby, and the only way you can really separate them is by looking at their little hairs under a microscope. I don't have a microscope, so I can't tell you if they're Scarlet or Ruby Elf Cups. But I picked them because they're one of the only fungi that are really around at this. No, that's not true. There are plenty of fungi around. They are making themselves known, obviously, by this vibrant red colour in the woods. And the thing that I love about them is, unlike most mushrooms, fruiting bodies that we see, they seem to pop up overnight and then disappear almost as quickly. These Scarlet Elf Cups hang around seemingly for months. I've been watching these ones start to develop in this spot since December, and they're just here every time I come, and it's delightful. I love seeing them grow a little bit. I'm really curious about why some fungi seem to just have a flash and then disappear, yet these ones seem able to persist for a long time. I was reading that they like to grow on rotting deciduous wood in damp woodlands, and that certainly is this place. So they're obviously very happy here, and there's lots of them around. And yeah, just such a vibrant red colour in the middle of winter. It's beautiful. I was reading about the folklore of them, and the reason they're called elf cups is supposedly the elves and the fairies drink from them. That makes sense. And I was thinking about how, even though they have this really prominent bowl shape and they live in this wet woodland that I walk in with Jack all the time, I've never actually seen any holding water, which must mean that the folklore is true and that the elves of the woods are in fact drinking the water that gathers in them. That's the only explanation I can think of. even though I'm very damp, it's really nice sitting here in this mossy glade, enjoying the sound of the rain as it drops onto my coat and my hat and my everything. I am absolutely wet through. But it's been lovely to sit here and chat with you about what I've been working on. Thank you for joining me. If you want to catch up with me between now and the next episode, you can find me on Patreon, which you can join for free or as a paid member. And there are different things that I offer. I've recently started a new newsletter called Lichen Letters. And as part of that, I offer both a written newsletter with photographs and images, or you can listen to it as an audio reading. I sit and read it to you and give image descriptions as an accessibility thing, but I actually really enjoy the process of trying to describe the things that I'm depicting and trying to give you an audio sense of the place that I'm sitting and reading and creating, the places that I like to be, mossy, wet places like this. If you join as a paid member, you also get access to extra studio vlogs, a little bit more informal, where I chat about the day-to-day happenings in my studio. That is all for this video. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode, and I will see you soon. Bye.